All right, so for our final project app, we wanted to do a simple little app that calls an API to get a list of all the satellites that are currently above the horizon at your location. This means we need uh, a latitude and longitude value to pass into the API. So let me show you how we did that. So we have these two lines up here, uh, use location provider client and location services. This will actually allow us to get the location in the app. Um, and so we have access find location here. That allows us to actually access a location, and it gives us the permission to access the location. Um, and so in the main activity, um, we have a fused location provider client, which is the client that will actually let us get the location. Then on create, we request permission to let us get that location. So that method is right here. So it just requests permission to let us use the location. And then going through on create, we also have the text. We create the text view that will use to display the location on the screen, and the text view for the fused location provider client. And then we have this on-click listener. And so when we click a button in our app, it'll check for permission to get the location, and then once granted, we get location dot we do get latitude and get longitude and store those in doubles, and then append those to a text view that shows our location. And then after all that's done, we feed into this JSON parse method that will allow us to actually call the API. And so down here is the JSON parse method. And so we create this API URL that we're going to use to call. But I'll let Carlo talk a little bit more about that since he wrote the code for that.
All right, so the way that we're actually getting the information from the API is really via this right here, where it's essentially a GET request. And so we do that by the URL listed up here. Now this bit right here, it's generic, where if you actually go on the website we're trying to pull this information from, there are multiple bits of data we can get, but till we want above us, we're going to need the specific URL where we indicate that we want above. And then from there, we're going to need some user input. Specifically, we're going to need the latitude and longitude, along with an API key that's given to users of the website that are given to them when they sign up. So once our request is made, there were some things here we wanted to get. More specifically from the site, we want to access this info object and this above object. That is done by using the keywords info and above, as you see right here. So this JSON object, we created in order to get the satellite count. What this is going to return to us would be the total number of satellites that are scanned in the user's location. Then after that, we're going to want to get information from the above object. And what that is, it's an array right here, each containing info for a specific satellite. So to get the information we want, I ran it through a for loop in where, creating the satellite object, we then get the satellite ID, its name, and then latitude, longitude, and altitude data. And now the types would be int, string, and then doubles. And that's just done by using the object, going to be dot get, and then its type. And then putting in the specific string associated with that bit of information. So if I wanted to say like this number right here, I would put in sat ID. If I wanted this string right here, I'd put sat name. Now that's done for every value in the array. And then right here, string formatted, it's just a combination of all these bits into one single string. And that string is then appended to our mtext view result. And then the rest are just, error exceptions to try to catch any errors that could go wrong.
And so now we're going to take you over to the phone so you can actually see what the app looks like when it runs.